Oh, hello Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards. Use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And now we've got the Prince of Pentacles. This is the builder. I think you're somebody right now who is, you've already had the idea, you've already made the plan, now you are working, you are constructing, you've got the hammer and the nails, and you're putting the boards together, right? You're in the process of building something significant. Maybe it's a house, maybe it's a library, maybe it's a legacy, maybe you're building a future, maybe you're building a bank account. Maybe you're building a family, right? This is that energy that is committed to it. This is the energy that is working hard, nose to the grindstone, showing up every day, very consistent, okay? And I think you are very consistent. I think that you do show up every day in your life, right? Whether this is a work thing, family thing, career, if it's a creative something, or I don't know, whatever it is, you're consistently working at it. Even when it's difficult, even when there are doubts, the builder here, this is the one that, it's not the architect. It's not the one that's going to live in the house at the end. It's been told what to do. It does it. Someone gave them the plans. I'm just doing my job here, you know? And so I feel that you are trying to not make revisions. You're trying to not kind of like get halfway through and be like, I don't know if I really like it anymore. You're just, I think, trying to just continue doing what you're doing. And maybe it's starting to feel a little monotonous, you know, because it's just kind of, there's, you know, it feels as if the creative side of things has already taken place. You know, that the time of having the idea and planning and figuring it out and making the sketches of it, you know, that's already passed. Now is really just the time to be hands-on. And I feel like you're somebody that likes to be hands-on. You like the creative part too, you know. Spirit's telling me that you lost something recently, but it will be returned to you soon. I don't know what that is. If it's a tool, if it's an artifact, if it's something of value, that you lost it somewhere, it's coming back. All right. We're going to put this card, though, into some context and see what else we can glean from your energy. The Two of Pentacles, very nice earth energy. I like the way they look like a pair of eyes, kind of looks like an owl, doesn't it? More earth energy. Six of Pentacles, very nice. You're trying to change your life for the better. I think it's mostly a financial thing. Ooh, nine. Nine of Pentacles, a lot of earth energy so far, right? And there more earth energy. And holy moly, 9 plus 1, of course, equals 10. So, God, this is all earth energy. This is all financial stuff. It could be related to health, but it really is about your attention to the material world. You're not in the idea, the creative phase. You're not in the sort of mental planning phase of anything. You're not in the... You're not even in really the evaluation phase, right? Where we're sort of understanding if this feels right. How do I feel about this? No. All that stuff I think is already a given. It's already a certainty. What you're doing now is building. And I think you really have your nose to the grindstone here. And you are, you're constructing this absolute ideal. This is the complete structure. This is your wealth. This is your best life, right? Your absolute best life up there, 10 of Pentacles. And that's what you're creating. 9, I'm doing what I can to keep building this to make this. And so I do think that you're very close to succeeding in whatever you're doing, right? So why are we here? That's the question, I guess, right? 5 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. Come on, more earth energy? How much earth energy are we going to have? Come on. And this is uncanny. This has never happened before. This is all earth energy. This is all earth energy here. That's crazy, considering that I never reorder my tarot decks. I never put them back into order the way that they ship, you know. I shuffle and shuffle and shuffle day in and day out. For the last 2 years, I've been shuffling those cards. It's interesting that they sort of ended up this way for you. Okay, I don't know what the odds are of this happening. I'm not good at math, but there's 78 cards in a tarot deck. So I don't know, someone else can do the math. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set it here with Frankenduck right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. Probably will be more earth energy. But if you have a prediction, if you want to take a guess or you have a hunch, please put it down in the comments. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise of intuition. Now, what I also want to point out here, there's no major arcana energy. So I literally feel like this is just kind of, it's almost as if what's going on here? Why are we having a tarot reading? If everything is going according to plan, the plan is fine, you feel good about it and everything's working out, why are we here? What is the message that's coming through with this? Okay? And 2, since there's no major arcana energy, where's the spiritual connection for you? Like, what is the meaning of all of this, right? Have we lost touch with what this actually means? And also I start to wonder, why couldn't a robot just do it? You know, there's no thinking, there's no feeling, there's no idea happening. I mean, it's like a machine. It's like we're looking inside of a machine. Okay? So I think right away, we need some spiritual energy in here. We need something to freshen things up. And maybe that's part of the difficulty. We said that there's a kind of a routine happening. There's the 8 of Pentacles. Maybe life has become a little bit too routine for you. Maybe, maybe we're feeling a little bit like a machine. Maybe you're feeling a little bit like an automaton here, right? Rather than a living, breathing, spiritual entity that has somehow managed to get inside of some flesh fingers and is able to put things together. You know, where's the awe? Where's the wonder of what you're doing? The fact that we have fingers and hands that we can use to, to interact with the world, interact with this weird substance that's around us, into which we suddenly find ourselves born, So, yeah, literally, there's no major arcana, there's no fire, there's no water, there's no air, it's all earth energy, okay? Well, let's talk about the 2 of Pentacles. This is the card of change. And maybe right now there is some sort of a change needed. I know you're trying to change your life. You're trying to build your ideal, build your best life, build your whatever this is, right? Finish constructing the castle, right? But maybe we need some sort of change. Maybe the road that you're on needs maybe you need a detour. Maybe you got to take some time off and just have a day where you can enjoy yourself. Maybe that's sort of what we see with the 6 of Pentacles down here. Maybe the 6 of Pentacles is saying, hey, go spend some money. Go treat yourself. Go do something to get the fire, the air, or the water back. Get that spiritual energy back in here. Okay? Anytime there's 0 major arcana energy, maybe we should do a hexagram from the I Ching. Yeah? These are the 64 cards that contain the 64 hexagrams, which themselves represent the encapsulated wisdom of the ancient Chinese sages. And I know this is not the traditional way of casting a hexagram, but It's my program, and, well, I'm going to do it anyway. So what is our hexagram? What is the message here? What is the reason why we're in this position, and why are we here talking together today? Let's see if we can answer that with this. Great possession from the source, creating success. Yeah, you have, I think, a great opportunity, a great resource here. Something really, really good is going on. Okay, great possession. You are rich, either in material goods or in knowledge, wisdom, power, energy, talent, or relationships. Whatever form it takes, you have something real and potent in your possession. That which you have or are, you can give. This pure potential is an opening to source and a promise of abundance. Given all you have, who will you be? How can you affirm and support what is good? It's kind of saying, yeah, this is really, you're like a tycoon with this energy. If this is all, if we're talking finances here, I'm going to have to ask you for a loan, right? This is substantial earth energy. But I guess the question is then, what are you doing with it? Who are you becoming? Is it changing you? It's your lesson for the week really is all about change. How are things changing for you? Are you changing into the person that you really wish to become? Are you contributing to the goodness of the world? Are you adding value to the universe? Right? How are you changing your life and the lives of those that you care about? Okay. It feels like there's a sense of purpose here. And that purpose, of course, is to sort of create our best life, right? Finish building our castle, building our future. There's the purpose of transcending whatever the present circumstances are. I feel like everybody is sort of on this path of leveling up, improving, getting better, going higher, right? Which isn't to say that where we are now is no good or there's anything wrong with it. But I think the human spirit sort of tends toward growth and evolution, okay, and expansion. I feel like you're trying to alleviate suffering for yourself and for your loved ones. You're trying to improve the quality of life for yourself and your loved ones. And Capricorn, you're an earth sign. So it makes sense that we got all of this resource here, and we've got you kind of working with all of this. But the question here is about change. How is your life going to change with this intense success? And this could be, we could be talking about financial success, success in a business or in some sort of physical resource. We could be talking about a health thing too. There could be a recovery from an illness, especially with the Nine of Pentacles back here. We could be talking about the restoration toward a robustness of health. We could be talking about, though, this new path of wellness, right? Did you start a new exercise routine or a new healthy lifestyle kind of thing, right? Looking to change our our composition of our physical bodies, right? Just as we want to build up our home, our house, our family, our finances, we want to build up ourselves too. We want to build up our muscles, our cardiovascular system, all that sort of thing. So I think a lot of things are changing for you. Okay. But with the two, and the way this sort of looks like an owl, right? It looks like a pair of eyes. I can't help but see that. I wonder if this is about kind of taking a look at the long term. What are we building? What are we creating here? Because the Prince of Pentacles, like I said, is not somebody that cares about the plan or the reason why or who paid for it or what it's supposed to be at the end. You got the blueprints, and I'm going to build it. That's my job, is just to build this. Maybe this is kind of saying, maybe we've got to look at what we're building and why. Where did it come from? Who gave us this blueprint, right? Who gave us the idea? Where did this set of plans come from? Yeah. And who are we becoming in the process of building this future? And I don't know, again, I don't know what exactly you're doing, if it's career, finances, if it's something creative, if you're building a family, if this is a new sort of lifestyle of wellness that you're living, you know. So it could be any of these things or all of these things. We've got to ask ourselves, who are we becoming? Because through this work with the material world, through your interactions, through your fingertips, the way you're interacting with the material of the world here, you might be changing things around. Like I could rearrange things on my desk, right? At the same time, we're changing too. We are being rearranged. So things that happen in the external environment, I'm moving things around, I'm looking at things, I'm interacting with things, with substances. At the same time, it's affecting me, my internal world, right? And I think we need that focus. We need to look at your internal world. Given all that you have, who will you be? And how can you affirm and support what is good? You have this great possession, this great opportunity, and maybe it's just saying we have this body, right? Maybe this is really a reading about body awareness, about appreciating our temple, you know. The Six of Pentacles down at the bottom, this is a sense of community, a sense of cooperation. This is sort of a group effort, a team effort. Okay? And this is the card that's sort of underneath the surface. It's sort of an unconscious thing. It's kind of like, you know, maybe the builder doesn't really know what's going on, but there's this feeling as if I'm building something that looks like a lot of people can fit into it. Where are the people? We don't really see them. But it's kind of like, you know, you're building it and then it's going to be filled with people. So it makes me feel like, kind of like, you know, you're constructing a building, but once all the people show up and start worshiping there, then it becomes a church. Then it becomes a temple. Then it becomes a holy place, right? You're building a kitchen and a dining table, but once people get there with food, then it becomes, you know, then it becomes the home. Then it becomes the, you know, then the spirit sort of enters it, right? And so it's an interesting sort of philosophical question about duality of, you know, let's say a soul and a body, right? Does the body come first and then the soul sort of comes and inhabits it, right? Is the, or consciousness even, right? Is consciousness something that arises from our physical structure? Or does the physical structure get built up and then consciousness is kind of implanted into it? You know, I don't know the answer to these questions. I don't think there really is an answer. But it's an interesting sort of, you know, question. But this also reminds me of the book Contact by Carl Sagan. I read this a long time ago when I was in high school. So that was a long time ago. And they're building this thing. They have these plans. They're putting together this machine thing. And they notice that there is like these little seat thing, these little grooves inside of the thing where it's like, it's pretty obvious people are meant to sit in there. You know, and that's kind of what this reminds me of. And I don't, it's been a long time since I read the book. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's kind of like they don't know what it is until they see that, like, okay, there's room for a human being to sit right there. So this obviously is something that's meant to, a person's meant to sit and do something there. And so with you, I feel that with the Six of Pentacles, you're building a life that you want to sort of fill it with people. You know, it's kind of like whatever you're doing is not just for you alone. It's meant to bring people together. I think you're doing something for your loved ones, something for a family, something for humanity. Okay? And maybe with this idea of the builder sort of not having an idea of what's going on, just doing the work. I wonder if there's this sense of you kind of are wrapped up in all of this construction, all of this building up, even if it's just building up your muscles, you know? And we just need a reminder why. Yeah? We need to maybe get a reminder why we're doing this. And maybe that's why Spirit wants to sort of reconnect with you. And that's why maybe it feels as if, well, because, again, no major arcana. It doesn't mean that Spirit's left the building. It just means that Spirit has kind of gone, let's say, into the background. Let's say Spirit is the whole table, right? Spirit sometimes pops up in certain places here or here or here or here or here or here. Spirit will pop up from the table and ask you to look at a certain aspect of Spirit. Right now, Spirit's not saying, hey, look at this certain aspect of me, right? And you can sort of imagine things kind of poking up from underneath the table down here, you know, and just sort of, hey, look at me, I'm up here. And then it kind of goes back into the table, and then another one comes up here and says, hey, major arcana, you need to focus on this. And Spirits just kind of step back and say, what do you see? Right? What do you think needs to be worked on right now? Right? What is some of your kind of, your internal work that needs to be, you know, it's almost like Spirit's kind of saying, excuse me, Capricorn, are you forgetting something? Yeah. I want to do another card. Let's do a Metatron Oracle card. This is kind of a crazy reading. And I know we haven't even gotten through very many cards yet. We'll get to them. I think they're pretty straightforward. Ancestors, appreciation, and healing. Interesting. So we have not only your immediate family, but we have the entire history of the human race, right? We have an entire history of your sort of genetic line, yeah, with the ancestors. So that might have something to do with some of this. We have the Nine of Pentacles back here. Nine of Pentacles to me is sometimes a card of an increase of physical well-being. Okay, we have ancestors, we have healing. Maybe there's something there. Okay, I feel like maybe you have just recovered from some sort of an injury or an illness in your life. Okay, if not recently, I think maybe when you were a kid, you had something kind of serious that happened, and you were okay, but it was kind of a scary thing. And so, you know, with that, maybe there is this devotion, this commitment to physical well-being. Maybe you eat right, you exercise, you drink good water, you get a lot of fresh air. You're like really focused on maintaining your health. And with the Nine of Pentacles, kind of living that healthy lifestyle. Very important to you, almost obsessively important, right? Because you've been sick before. You know what it's like, and I'm not doing that again. Okay? But maybe now there's this question of, okay, it's time to level up with that. It's time to take it somewhere. It's time to do something with that, right? It's time to remember what our objectives were, what our goals were. What was the future that we were supposed to, like, why did we start this again? You know? Because if you don't know why you're here or where you were supposed to be going, it's hard to know when you've arrived. You know, it's hard, and that I think is going to keep this going perpetually, where we're not going to ever get that feeling of, I made it, this is wonderful. Like, we're not going to get the water energy we want. I hope this is water. The Ace of Pentacles at the top. Okay, now with the Ace of Pentacles at the top of the path of the dove, I don't see this as being the beginning of something. I see this as being the summit of the mountain. That you're looking up at the summit, but if you don't, it's kind of, you know, to me it feels like you were going uphill, and we're doing this stuff, whatever it is, building a business, the financial stuff, the health thing, well-being, lifestyle, whatever. But somewhere along the line, we just started hiking around the mountain, right? The summit's still above you, and it could be that we're just sort of going around the mountain, and that might be what the Lemnis Gate, the infinity symbol here, looping back in on itself, going from a 9 to a 10, a 9 to a 10, 9 to a 10. Around and around she goes, right? Forgetting that this was supposed to be an ascent, supposed to be a sort of vertical climb, but we just started going around and around and around. Continuing to do this work, but forgetting what our objective was, forgetting what the goal was at the top. So I see this as the summit of the mountain, that we've got to sort of remember that's where we were going. And to me, maybe it even feels like I don't know, I watch a lot of like sci-fi outer space type movies. You come up from your cryo sleep and people are like, where am I? What was the mission? Why am I here? You ever watch that movie Pandorum? Freaky movie. That movie, I watched that in the dark, 10 years ago or whatever by myself. Kind of scared me a little bit. I don't get scared easy, but that one gave me the willies, and I love it. Great movie. Pandorum, Dennis Quaid, and that other guy. I forget his name, but I love him too. I feel that that's kind of the vibe, that we're just like, we've got to get in touch with the feelings again. Why am I here? Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? What is the mission? Right? Because we're trying to get up to the top here. And I think then you're going to realize that, the traveling in circles around this mountain, you've arrived at the goal many, many times. Like this is, maybe you're here already, Now, the Ten of Pentacles is, of course, the very best life. This is your ideal. This is that sort of perfect state of health. And, maybe you're there already. Maybe you're the healthiest that you've ever been. And, of course, you're going to keep doing the work, right? We've got to maintain that. But when are you going to realize that I've made it already. I've got it. And it doesn't mean that we then sit down and get a bag of chips and a soda and just watch TV. I mean, I like doing that. I think you should treat yourself too. It doesn't mean that you stop doing the work, but it means that you allow yourself to feel that you've succeeded. Where's the awareness? Where is the feeling? Right? Where's the water energy? Where's the emotion? Where's the satisfaction? Right? So all of this activity, but is there an awareness of the body? Is there an appreciation of the body? This could be a big thing about the body awareness, getting in touch with all of these different aspects of yourself. We're going to go to the path of the serpent now, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything, really does help out the channel, and I really, really do appreciate that. All right, I really do. The Five of Pentacles is this feeling that things are still not quite right. So if this is a financial thing, you may be a billionaire already, but you still feel as if you're in poverty, and there are things that there's still this worry. There's still like, it's not enough. Things are still broken. Things are still in flux. Things are still, kind of uncertain and scary, and things still need to be fixed. If this is a health thing, now I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing anything, but you could be in the perfect health. But this Five of Pentacles is saying, it's not enough. I'm not there. There's still something more. There's still something that needs fixing or needs work or needs, anytime we have a 5, we start looking around for the 4. Well, that's one thing we don't have here. So I feel like there's always this feeling that there's more work needed to be done, whether it's financially, physically, whatever. Okay. Maybe you're a bodybuilder, right? Building these muscles. And it always feels like, I got to keep going. That's not enough. Even though you could be the perfect, the perfect specimen of fitness, But this is that general energy that says things aren't quite right. I've got to keep going. So there is a lack of awareness, I think, of how close to the goal you really are, or how you already have achieved so much. We've got to recognize that. Okay. Now the Three of Pentacles in the position of the environment. I think you're really good at. I think you're really good at working with others. I think that you have this. You have a very productive way of relating to other people. And with the Three of Pentacles, I even feel that everybody you come in contact with, it's kind of like you're automatically in that mode of like, what can we create together? What can we do? What can we accomplish together? What can we build together? Yeah. And so it seems like that's sort of the dominating vibe, which then questions, where's the personal relationship? Where's the vibe? you know, that we're meeting people, and every time, let's say every time you see somebody, you sort of like, I don't know that you compare yourself to them necessarily, but you think, okay, well, we could really, we could work together, and maybe you're really good at being part of a team and working with others and being productive, let's say at work or at school or even at home. It really is a great energy for being productive. Like, you and these other people really get stuff done, and you really do work well that way. But as soon as the work is over, or let's say on the lunch break, I wonder if there's a disconnect. Like, you can communicate, you're really in the zone when the work's going on, but then when there's a break or at the end of the day, it's hard for you to connect with people, because it's just like, what do I talk about? The personal connection, the intimate connection, I think needs to be focused on a little bit. Okay? And like I said, it's there when you're in the middle of the work, but then when you shut the machines down, it's kind of like, okay, now what do we talk about? Yeah. And so I think we have to work on those relationships. The Eight of Pentacles in the position of the fear, worry, and concern. This is interesting because this is a card of routine, monotony, kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again, which I think is something you don't want. You don't want to just be doing, and especially if let's say you're into fitness and like working out and stuff, you can't do the very same exercises every single day. Your body's going to get used to it. Nothing's going to happen, right? You will adapt. And so that's kind of like, that's a very important thing that I don't know. I don't know how concerned you are about this, because then we would need some sort of fire energy here that says, hey, we're switching things up a little bit, that we're getting out of this routine. This is your obstacle now, is to wake yourself up out of this routine, because whatever progress you're trying to make, if we're just running around in circles, it means we're not going up. Okay? It means nothing is really changing from this point. So this is where, okay, things have gotten this routine. We need some creative energy in here to switch it up and to say, I'm going to do different exercises. I'm going to surprise my muscles tomorrow and do different exercises. And my muscles are going to be, what? What are they doing? And it's going to force new adaptation, new growth, right? And that's kind of what we need with this card. So the obstacle here is you recognizing that maybe things have gotten too routine. Maybe we need a little bit of fire energy or air energy in here to get a little, to shake it up, to mix things up a little bit. Yeah. I really like the Princess of Pentacles at the end, because this is kind of, in some ways, the version of yourself that you're building. Okay? And we start with the Prince of Pentacles, and it sort of becomes the Princess of Pentacles. I feel like this is who you are working to become. This is the kind of life that you're trying to build for yourself, And I think that we really have to reconnect with this. Like, who are you trying to become? What kind of life are you trying to live? Yeah. I think that this is a very successful energy. You've got, I never had a reading that had literally all Earth cards. Every single card is an Earth card. I've never had that before. But I do think that we have to, if we're going to grow into who we are meant to grow into, who you've maybe, what your goal is. I think we're going to have to get out of the routine. I think we're going to have to bring in some fire, some water, and some air energy into this in order to have a heightened awareness, right? To reconnect with who we're trying to become, to reconnect with who we are and where we are, so we know kind of what the goal is and what things we need to do differently, what changes we have to make in order to become that ideal version of ourselves. This is your ideal life. This is the ideal you. These two together are absolutely perfect. Let's reconnect with that. Maybe you're already here. Maybe you're closer than you think. Maybe we realize that it's not just like there's no objective measurement, you know, that we just say, okay, once I get $1 million, then that's success to me. Or once my muscles are a certain diameter or whatever, that's going to be success to me. Maybe there's really no objective measurement like that, right? And so we just keep doing it. It's just a lifestyle. It's just how I am. I'm going to continue to do it forever and ever and ever. And, you know, that's probably more likely than anything else. But we still need the awareness of what we're doing so that we can really start to appreciate the progress that you're making, you know? Let's take a look at the mystery card. I'm really hoping for water energy. I think fire, I would take anything but earth right now. Anything but earth right now. So that's my guess. Not earth. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. All right, let's see. Oh, God. It's Knight of Pentacles. In fact, this is your power card. This is the card that represents, we're going to ring the bell for you. This is the card that represents the Capricorn energy in practice, right? I wish I had an anti-bell to ring. This is the energy that kind of looks at the future. This is kind of, I think this is what has happened before, and I think now it's time to do it again. To stop what you're doing and look ahead in your mind's eye, in your soul, in your spirit. Look ahead a month, a year, 5 years, and 10 years. And see what it is that who are you, where are you, and what are you doing in those increments. You know, a month from now, a year, 5 years, 10 years from now. Who are you, where are you, and what are you doing? What is the goal? Visualize what you're hoping to achieve here. Okay? Reconnect with what it is that you're after. Okay, I think, like I said, I think it's something that's bringing people together. It's something that's not just for you, but for, I think, your loved ones, friends, family, for the universe at large, right? Reconnect with the future and ask yourself, are you there already? Okay, if these are the siblings, the Knight of Pentacles is the father of all of this. Okay. And I think by reconnecting with the goal, with what it is that we're hoping to achieve, I think then you can reconnect with the why, right? With why you want to achieve it and how and what it feels like, and we can get some of this water energy in. Yeah, we need it. We need it. Before we go, I'm going to do one empowerment oracle card. And we've got the internal garden. I take time to tend my internal garden. I spend intentional time in meditation and self-care to cultivate my soul. Within myself, I grow the fruit I eat for sustenance. Well, that kind of reminds me of an Eight of Pentacles. Now, maybe this is talking about something a little different than we originally discussed. The building up of your internal world. If all of this is outside, we need the fire, the water, the air to tend to the internal garden. Okay? The internal garden. So maybe it's time really for this Knight of Pentacles to say, hey, in the external world, I'm already there. I've already succeeded. Let me focus all of this effort, all of your intense abilities here. Focus it inward. Reconnect with you. Reconnect with spirit. Reconnect with your heart, your mind, with your soul, with your creative energy, with the architect, right? And enjoy the fruits of your labor. Treat yourself. Spend some of this time, space, or money and go buy yourself something. Treat yourself to a day at the spa or wherever, right? And love yourself, appreciate yourself, and start the journey of internal sort of connection and awareness. Grow this internal garden. Spend intentional time in meditation and self-care to cultivate your soul. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there is a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings, all right? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment for me and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.